Now, standard. So we're gonna go elemental. We're gonna go elemental. And we can show off the custom builder after we understand elemental, because the custom builder is just based off of elemental, trying to shore up the weaknesses of elemental. Now, elemental, a lot of people will consider unbalanced, and it is a very, very good race, a very, very good builder, especially against inexperienced players, players that aren't able to, maximize economy and carry the game and survive to the late game. So the the problem with elemental though, and the reason I think that it's fine, it's balanced, is that its late game is really bad. And by late game, I'm always referring to like waves 30 and 31. Late game to me is basically always just wave 31. But its boss killing is 10 is really so the th- I think that the game is best balanced in the sense that um, each race has its own like niche or thing that it's good at. It has its strengths and weaknesses. And elemental is the best at getting like really, really strong early to mid game economy. Um, it kills wave 10 with the lowest amount of minerals. Um, it just does insane amounts of things. And if you let it get up economy and you don't upgrade your SS and you build kind of risky, then Elemental has the gas to be able to punish them. And the average player, like mediocre average players, that's how they play. They they have builds that are kind of shaky. They don't upgrade the security center, and you can really really punish them with Elemental. That's normally why people think Elemental is broken. Um, you're gonna notice this game that I'm just gonna send economy. Oh, nice. The guy sold all of his stuff, so I get. Alright, well, it's gonna be 2v1, which is perfectly fine with me. Hopefully, these guys will be able to survive late enough into the game to show what I'm talking about. Um, I'm gonna leak a little bit of this into the SS, which is fine. Maybe not. Oh, I forgot. I'm playing Elemental and not custom, so I actually have a good passive. I'm gonna leak a little bit. Am I? Oh, that was one attack. That's funny. Damage 13. That was one attack. All right. So we're already up 2 workers or 2 econ because person leaked 1 and my teammate leaked 2. So that's good. Whoops, I did not mean to ping. I was clicking around. All right, cool. Now we get a worker here. Serene doesn't do anything. If you send a this does leak Marine on 2 sometimes, I think. Well, I haven't done. Take that back. With custom builder, it does. I haven't done a lot of elemental currently, so I don't know how strong. I'm assume that the passive is strong enough not to leak 2 ever. Um, but now you can see that we're gonna really start cranking up the economy. We have to we have to wait till wave 3 to start getting it, but it really starts pouring in. And by the time we hit 10 into the mid game, it's gonna be really high. Yeah, they send two links, so it's good to keep track of what your opponent is sending, so that you know if they're saving or if they're upgrading SS or if you're gonna get bombed. They're just sending. They have like lings on autocast, so I don't have to worry at all about leaking. I can risk here. I don't need to build the safety proton. I don't think I ever have to build the safety proton with elemental because the passive is too good. This I want to change around. I want to get the Mudman on 4, or on 7, and get the Adept here. That's the correct build order. But you may be minerals short, so you can switch those back and forth depending on what minerals you have. You will sometimes leak. Um, you will sometimes leak a little bit on 6 if you get, or leak on 7 a little bit if you get a second Adept on 7 rather than a Mudman. This placement is just, I use this placement just so I can focus, so it can focus fire the best. Uh, Upgrade the adepts on the aggressive spots. Um, just again, so you can focus fire the best. This looks risky, but it's actually incredibly safe. Unless they send auras, obviously. So this placement, it's basically 2 lines up. So this would be 1, 2, all the way across, and then half a line back. That's how I place all my stuff, basically, is, oh, this is, kill this, and get a worker, get some gas. So like here, 2 lines up all the way across is typically good placement. And that's what I use for chaos. You could probably place this a little bit closer, but this works, and I haven't really fine-tuned the exact pixel perfect placement, but it works fine. Alright, they're leaking, so we're going to get even more. Here our notes say we can go up to 6-1. We might be able to go up to 7-1 because we're ahead. So 60 plus 36 plus 25 plus 19 minus 50. No, I'm going to be 30 short, so we can't. There's 4. It's not nearly close enough to get an extra. I guess I'll talk a little bit about what this placement does and um, how Elemental's able to abuse Mudmans and Adepts. That's really what we're doing here. We're just abusing Mudmans and Adepts. I'm sure if you've been watching, you can kind of see the concept of it. It'll be really prevalent on Wave 10 is the best time to talk about it, I think. 3. We may have been able to get an extra. We're 5 short. I don't think a worker would have got us 5 minerals there though. We would have ended up having to sell one, which is not the end of the world, but it's kind of awkward. It's good to just do quick math on that kind of stuff and see if you can push the limits, but not necessary in this situation. Now this holds 10 at 470, which is really low. And it's all because of Mudman's ability. start the worker and then read Mudman. So Mudman slows movement by 60% for 6 seconds. So you can see they're basically just stunned. Melee units are just literally stunned. Let's go ahead and do this. So movement speed by 60 seconds for 6 seconds. 60% for 6 seconds. Stacks 3 times. So against melee units, it's literally a 6-second stun. And that's what we're abusing here. These have ridiculous amounts of DPS output. And this is a 6-second hard stun. You can see they sent a Goliath, and it didn't matter at all. Immortal matters, Goliath doesn't, because we don't, like, we're not dealing, it's not, nothing's dealing any damage to us, right? The Infestor kills the um, Mudman with like one less attack, one fewer attacks, but it doesn't matter because we're just bursting it down as fast as possible. So I'm going to start upgrading the security center a little bit just to be safe because they are actively trying to kill me. They sent a Goliath there. They're gonna cover this because they upgraded. Um, this holds. Wow, I got so many minerals. Holy shit. Yeah, I can do all of this. That's pretty insane. This is unrealistic now. It's probably a video, not necessarily a video that will be that informative because it's super unrealistic. I'm gonna start upgrading the security center so it'll bring it down a little bit more realistic, but this is absurd even for elemental standards. All right, I got a third. And again, we're still just abusing the way Mudman works and the high DPS output of Adepts. This will work for. This works till about 18 or 19. Just this strategy in general. And you can apply this strategy to Chaos. Like, my favorite Chaos start is just 5 Adepts. Or if you pick up a Mudman at any point during your Chaos, then you can just. Whoops. Then you can just start with. Like, fill in these blanks with high DPS. It doesn't matter what they are. Fire Archers, Rangers, Specters, any good DPS. Any good DPS will work in the spot of these if you pick up a Mudman at any point. So it's very interchangeable. With Chaos also, if you pick up your Adepts, then you can pick up any good resilient tank like Android works really well, Mudman obviously, Warden, anything that's pretty like Kargoth, anything that's pretty tanky that you can pick up. Those are pretty expensive, but you can do it. Um, Skeletor is the classic example for wave 10. Like 2 Skeletors and 2 or 3 Adepts will hold. Let's do this. This is super unrealistic. We're so far ahead right now, it's kind of silly. If at any point, if I just send like an aura, they just die. So, um, we're just upgrading this SS so we don't die. I can continue showing this ridiculousness. Alright. we're gonna put mutas on auto, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how that works. Again, you can see Mudman just tanks everything. 100 income. That's a lot. Usually you have like 80 to 90 here. Just barely getting one upgrade, one adept upgrade. Now we're getting 150. This is probably going to be enough to break them. We don't need to play for too long because this is an unrealistic game. Zap, zap, zap. So basically, if your adepts get 2 waves or 2 like activations of their ability off, and you clear the wave, and the Mudman is just the cheapest way to enable that. So what are we at? We're at 16. We got 6th adept. I'm gonna put it here. We're gonna put our disciple here. They're holding the mutas, so that's good. This wave's a little bit risky. These things deal a lot of damage, and you have all light units. But it's not that bad. Okay. Now here's where Elemental gets, like, you've seen how much economy we've had, and like if you want to win the game, just kill them. Like at this point, I could just kill them at any point. Like I have 700 gas per minute, so I just save up for 2 waves. I just save up for a wave. I have more gas per minute than my gas cap. So you just send ores and kill them. And that's how you win with the elemental. Um, but the weakness is if your opponent is actually good and upgrades their security center and knows how to play the game, you can have some trouble winning um, late game. Because like a 12k elemental army will get outlasted by like an 8 or 9k ancient army. So I get RRR maxed. There should be enough to hold my single leak. I won't leak that. If you do leak, you don't leak. It's at pretty low health, and triple R is able to take it out. I shouldn't have even upgraded subs. I should have just upgraded triple R, and I would be fine. I could have gassed a lot harder. I'm just gonna put mutas back on auto. Need 400 to upgrade this. That's 3, 4. Yeah. Right, 400 to upgrade that. Yeah. Cool. So you can see that like 21 or 2.1k is a lot to be holding 20. Like that's a really high number. And Elemental needs it to be able to hold this wave. So this is where Elemental starts to die out starts to be less strong. But we have such a high economy that we make up for it. So that's where I was talking about like the balance of like there's this really like range in mid game where you need to end the game as elemental against good players, and the onus is on you to do so. If you let the game go to like a point like this, then against good players you will lose, especially if they're playing like ancient or celestial or something that's really good late game. They have upgrades. Oh, they have upgrades. Okay, well they might not die here. Oh, they didn't die. Sweet. All right. Now we get maxed. We get maxed and then just buy as much stuff as we possibly can. We're going to have 2 rows of Adepts and then a row of Messiahs and a row of Phoenix. Army value is going to be around 12k. 12, maybe 13k because we got off to like a really good start this game and we didn't have to max out much of the SS, so our economy is pretty strong. But you should almost always be maxing on 21, 22 elemental. Sometimes before, if I had just been sending econ units the entire time instead of upgrading, I would have already been maxed. But that's interesting. This guy's falling behind. He's no longer going to be able to keep up. That's probably game here. Oh no, man, they have SS upgrades, so they'll be able to last for a little while. They need RRR for sure. Let's see. Just make a line of these. So, like, late game elemental is all just about like bursting things down as fast as you possibly can. The problem with that is on wave 30, like wave 31 specifically, 31 is all about survival. So it's the exact opposite of what you need for wave 30 to win wave 31. 31 is all about sustainability and survival. But usually you get high enough economy. So we had 600 economy on 32 or 22. We were going to end up with 13, 14k or 12 or 13k army. GG's.